Okay guys, welcome to our latest Eldritch video. Do not adjust your computers, there's nothing wrong. The screen is deliberately blank. I'm going to start with a little game. See if you can spot what is missing from the setup. Yeah, it's the board and all the other parts of it. Little confession, just before I went to Butlins, I had to clear it all away. I've got all the photos and whatnot. However, given our current situation, I thought I would maybe just see how the Mythos phase goes before I start getting it out again. Because, well, let's find out how we got on the last time. So I'm going to go through each investigator in order and discuss what happened with their encounter. Okay, we'll start with those who did not travel to Nkai. So George was being followed by a child of Yig and decided to let himself get captured and then, turned the tables on the capturer. Captor is probably a better word. And discovered a clue. So that's a great work, George. Ursula, after incredibly selflessly sending 4 clues right across the world, she travelled to Istanbul, beat up a cultist, which is great, and then travelled to the plateau of Leng, where she managed to sneak past a giant purple spider, however, then discovered one of the spider's previous victims, found a book, gave it a good read, and managed to close the gate. And then finally we had Agnes, there she is. She travelled with one of the other guests at the Pera Palace in Istanbul. They became mates, which was nice. It was a research assistant. And then they stood together. She defended her new friend and managed to pull off a pretty amazing 1 dice success. So that was great. Right, on to Nkai. Okay, starting with Rita, who caught a plane to get there just in time. She discovered that the people of Yoth had returned and had started creating new types of life. She managed to sneak in, saw the new types of life they were creating, was a bit put off, shall we say. However, she managed to keep her nerve and she put a 3rd Eldritch token onto the mystery. Good stuff, Rita. Okay, on to Roland, who just gets all the luck, ends up in the deepest part of the cave, but managed to feel around and make his way through. Then he discovered, oh my god, this is a word, several drawings of the cave wall that represent Tsathago. Unfortunately, while he was examining them, he got attacked by amorphous creatures made of black viscous slime. However, he managed to fight them off and learnt the story of the Toad God. So all in a day's work for Roland Banks. And of course, most importantly I should say, that put the 4th token onto the Eldritch, onto the mystery, and we are after 4. So it's looking good, but we will continue because we know this game is very good at just twisting the knife. Anyway, on to Norman. He had a relatively civilised time in Kinyan. What did he see? He saw some ghost-like men riding on strange translucent beasts, but he wasn't freaked out by that, so these guys wanted to know about the outside world. So it looks like they just sat down and had a nice little chat. And then these guys told him a bit about Kinyan, and more information, 1 more token on the mystery. That took us up to 5. I don't know what it is about Wilson, but he seems to get the best encounters. Wilson reached the top of the mound as he approached the underground city, and then he was confronted by the animated corpse of a headless woman. So he held his nerve through that, and then luckily the headless woman meant him no harm. I love this sentence. Although communicating is difficult, you ask her for help. And she does help, and some reason that was a combat check. And she serves as a guide and places 1 Eldritch token. So that is, there we are, super overachieving. And there's still 1 more to go. And then finally, last action was Sephina. Last encounter was Sephina. She actually ended up in a city just a little bit south of Kinyan. But, on her way, plugged in her radio and started to hear strange words from the speakers. She managed to translate them and got a little bit of advice. And was able to improve a skill of her choice. So that was 4 successes in Kinyan. So that put us on to 6 out of 4. And that turn, every single person had a successful encounter. And although we've certainly passed more encounters than we've failed, That hasn't happened a huge amount this term. Okay, so let us go to the all-important mythos phase. Okay, here it is. As things stand, we are just about to complete our third mystery and therefore win the game. As I've already confessed, I don't have the board set up. I do have your characters sort of there in bits and around. If there's a reckoning, we could kind of do it. However, I don't know what reckoning effects could really change things. I know we got a dark pact somewhere. And I'm guessing people want to stay alive for the end. But anyway, it all comes down to this. It has been mentioned that there is a card that can mean you unsolve one of your mysteries. I think it was Jim who said he's had it 2 or 3 times. That's outrageous. I don't think I'd ever play this game again if it happened to me. But good for you, Jim. That's pretty awesome. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. Good luck, everybody. I might have to pause and consult my photos to tell you the impact. Let's just see what we've got. Alright, it is yellow. Okay, so I'm just going to take a wee pause. Okay, so we'll start with the Oban moving. It has moved to Constellation. Doesn't match any gates on the board. Reason? Because there are no gates on the board, which is fairly fantastic. We then go to Yeek's ability. Now, he did have at least one cultist left. So that cultist is going to appear where the active expedition is, which is in Shanghai. We then trigger this Mythos card, which is going to... what does it do again? Search the expedition deck for each card corresponding to the active expedition and return the cards to the game box, and then the active expedition will move. So let me just do that. Okay, I've done that, and just so you know, the new place is... Oh my goodness, where is that? I think that's Istanbul. Yeah, it's Istanbul. Okay, so that's a new location of the active expedition. Okay, in terms of monsters, there are no monsters on the board who have reckoning effects, so we get on to the individual investigator reckonings, which I'll get to right now. Okay, so Agnes, you've got this funding. You are currently in Istanbul, which is a city, so you could flip that if you want, or you might just want to wait and see how the mythos turns out, see if it's worth bothering, but there we go, that's yours. Nothing for you, Roland, so let's move on. Okay, there was nothing for Rita, there was nothing for George. Norman, you've got your paranoia. You feel free to do that test, just because I'm not entirely sure how many tokens you've got, and again, you might just want to see if it makes any difference, but there we go. That's your one, Norman. Sephina, you're still suffering from your penguin leg, so feel free to take this test, or wait until the mythos is ended and see if there's any point, but there we go, that's that. And of course we've got Wilson, who's got all the cards. Second corruption goes on. I think that one just discards tokens. I'll let you do your hallucination. Let's do the Dark Pact. Come on, why not? Here we go, good luck. Hey, it's a 6. Yes, you can trust me again with Dark Pact rolls. And that is it for our individual revelations. So we've got a few minor madnesses and injuries to take care of. However, you might just want to see how this card turns out before you take those tests. All right, let's see what the rest of the card says. Okay, we have got 2 gates to spawn. I want to do this just in case we see any of our old friends from games gone by. We've got Miskatonic Outpost, and we've got the Amazon. Both are the eclipse symbol. Let's see if we've got any of our old favourites. Oh, it's the Riot. Is that our second Riot in the Miskatonic Outpost? We did it. Oh, we had a crazed mob, didn't we? Who knew there were so many people living in Antarctica? And the Amazon gets... Oh, crikey. That's Starspawn. That's a really big enemy. I'll show you the back, even though it don't really make much difference. -1 to the willpower, 3 horror, -3 to combat, 3 damage and 5 toughness. And if you roll a dice on a reckoning, add on a 1 or 2 you advance a doom. Okay, I really hope we don't have to worry about this guy because he seems pretty tough. All right, here it comes. This is the effect. Let's see what it says. We've got a bit of story. Here we go. You receive an anonymous invitation to join an elite scholastic society that would allow you to indulge in the recuperative powers of their underground hot springs. Oh, sounds lovely. And can join the other guests in studying just about any athletic, academic or artistic pursuit you can imagine. This doesn't sound too bad, does it? Oh, look at that. What? Okay, do you know what? I didn't know there was a card in this game called Spa Resort Weekend. This is our rewards. This is what we'll do to celebrate. Okay, let's see what it does. And then each investigator resolves one of the following effects: recover one health and one sanity, lose one health and one sanity, and gain a tank edition. Okay, well, unless 5 of us fancy losing health and sanity to the point that we die, that is not going to give us enough doom, which means we complete our third mystery, and that is the game. Excellent work, everybody. Right, and here we all are, chilling out, having our spa weekend together, and look how relaxed we look. Look how relaxed Norman looks. He looks completely relaxed. What a shame Lily can be here with us to enjoy it. Okay, so there we go. Well done, guys. That is our 4th win. We have beaten Yog-Sothoth, we've beaten Mordorth, we've beaten Big H, and we have just beaten Yig as well. So, bit of an update. I am going back to work on Tuesday. I think I'm afraid to say that I am going to have to take a bit of an extended break from this now. I've had so much fun doing these, however I just know things are going to get busy for Monday and I won't be able to dedicate as much of my time as I have been. So just a really massive thank you for you all for playing and your enthusiasm. Thank you to Frank and Peter for hosting these games. A big thank you to everybody who has been patient with me when the photos haven't quite been right, and I'm stunned by how observant some of you guys are, or maybe I should be stunned by how unobservant I am. But yeah, just a massive thank you. It's been a blast. We will come back and do it again in a few months' time, maybe around Christmas time we could do it, something like that, and you guys will be the first people I contact. So, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. Cheers!